Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today is July 1st. It's already the start of the second half of this year. And welcome to our daily stock market insights. I hope you had very good trades today. How are your stocks? And hopefully you will have more profitable trades tomorrow and Friday. In the meantime, thank you for requesting your stocks, and please continue to do the same in the coming days as we will be prioritizing your requests daily. Okay, even on weekends, we still record our insights because we are building a skill here. Remember, we can only become an expert at something if we have consistent um, exposure to that activity. And for this, we are trying to achieve mastery in our trading skills. Right. So let's talk about PSEI. PSEI, so far today, we had a slight increase in the price. However, I am 50-50 on the direction here. You know why? I plotted our trend line, and still we are not yet out of the woods. Considering where we are at or where we were in the previous days. Okay, so let me just plot this area over here. So this is currently the trend line. So we established a lower high, and then when we dipped, it dipped by a few pesos below the previous low. And right now, we're still not 100% sure if it was going to retrace again or it will continue to move higher and hopefully break the um, yellow line that we have here that is currently acting as our resistance. So this on the short term is still in a downward trend, but once we break this resistance level that we have plotted, then we can say we are now officially changing the direction of the index. So just be extra careful. Overall, this does not really represent yet the performance of our individual stocks. We have to check out each stock to know the current state. But I think this is just a result of what we've talked about last week, that the market is on a defensive mode. There's slight increase in the movements, and then people start to take profit from the local traders to the foreign investors. Uh, we are all very careful of our actions. So there you have it. Use this. We will have to check this resistance level first before we conclude that we have a breakout. Okay, so these are the stocks that you guys have requested. Um, by the way, I review three portals every day. One is I check out all the comments section of our YouTube videos. So I suggest if you want to comment and request, drop it on the most recent video that we have. That way I can see it right away. I also check out Instagrams every single day, and I read your comments and requests from here. We also have a Facebook page. It's Invest in the Stock Market. I bet some of you came from that route. Okay, but I also check those requests there. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into your individual stocks. So first off would be East West. As for East West, this is currently the support that we see around 7 peso area, and we have not reached that level yet, but we're very close to that. So I will not be surprised if at one point within tomorrow and Friday, this price level will be hit. But once it gets hit, we're still safe. That's still respecting the support that we have plotted. The reason being is this one used to be your support. You also had established a support here. And well, you had a gap up here, right? So I think part of the story is really to fill that gap, and that's why we're dipping at the moment. And overall, this is part of the sideways movement of east west. We're still technically moving sideways here. You can do range trading if you like, because so far it's just moving within this range. if I'm to plot a box here, it is respecting this performance over here. Okay, so if it drops up to this point, then that's also a possibility because we're already moving below the MA20 line. So if your 7 peso area is broken, then it could drop to the 6.11 level. Next is MWC. MWC is overall, you know how the steepness of this movement, we're slowly climbing up, but in a very slow pace. And right now, your support area is currently at the MA20 line, but I see some, uh, momentum is starting to tone down a little bit here. So third stop, okay, it reached your resistance for the 3 occasions here, but your RSI is already declining in momentum. So I will not be surprised if this does not hold or this does not break your resistance. At the moment, we're just at the resistance level. So chances are it could dip and revisit this price area, 12 peso area in the coming days. Yeah, there you have it, 12 peso area. In case we see again, we see another red candlestick tomorrow, it might drop there. Next is MAC. For MAC is still stabilizing. Your MA20 line is still being respected here for 3 days now. Each time that level gets hit, then it's showing some slight bounce. So if you want, you can do this range trade at that level. You do range trading, but if this gets broken, that's a different story. It might go back to the 530 area, but in the meantime, let's use this level as your range area. This could be our next support here, 5.49 or to 550 level. Next is BPI. BPI currently it is respecting your MA20 line as your resistance. So the possibility of it breaking down in price is high. So this could be your next possible support, 67.94. It might revisit that level. Once it touches the area, let's see. My recommendation is, of course, you have to wait for a green candlestick to come out within the support level before we can say a possible change in direction, which is a bounce, could happen in the coming days. But for now, I feel that this is going to dip for a few more days. Could be in a span of 1 day and recover right away, or it could be it could end the week with it revisiting 67.94. Tech. Check. We are still respecting this price area as your support 720 level. So or 716 area. The reason why I'm plotting it there is because I see it this price level. Okay, so far it's just stabilizing, probably consolidating in this range. There's a short-term support built here, and then most likely it will continue to move up. We are more confident in our analysis once we are going to break your MA20 line. I mean, we are going to, our conviction, okay, for a possible bounce would be stronger once we see the price breaking the MA20 line, which at the moment could be acting as your resistance. Okay, so we tried to reach that level for um, a few days now, but it did not really manage to break that. So this is currently acting as your resistance. In the meantime, if it drops to 7.16, that is our nearest support. overall, how far are we? Here, very promising. So if you're a long-term investor at the moment for tech, just stay in there because overall the risk to reward ratio is looking promising. Your risk is just um, lesser than your possible reward. Okay, they also give out dividends, but very small amount. Okay, APVI here, you guys. Um, so I hope no one got stuck here at the 59.88. I feel that this is starting to slow down in pace. We had 30,000 trades today, but with the candlestick that we have right now, it might revisit this price area again. 20.89. That's something that I'm thinking it will be revisited. Okay, so um, at the end of the day, this with only 4 days as your historical data at the moment, we cannot really see concrete patterns right now. But given that on the second day we landed at the same level, your traders and investors are starting to be moving carefully in their trades here. Okay, so if you want, you can wait for it to go back to the 19.15 level. Dito. I like what I have here in Dito. Oh, it's a doji. So looks like it is going to respect this resistance area. So that is our resistance at the moment. Okay. I will not be surprised if some people will be taking profit. You're already at the overbought level. So for traders out there, they are closely monitoring this RSI, and if that happens, next possible drop would be 3.43, and then most likely it'll revisit your MA20 line next. All right, next would be possibly at 3.15 if it drops. Okay, hopefully it doesn't anymore. What we're waiting here is for it to continuously break the next resistance areas. Now, if it breaks the resistance area, then that's a different story. You might have a brand new wave and will challenge the next areas there. Probably here and then there, and then the 450 level. In the meantime, and let's just monitor this area because the other areas would be it takes a few days before those areas will be reached. So right now, 3.77 is our 3.83 I mean is our next resistance, very near the area where we are at the moment. And if it drops, it could revisit 3.43 and then drop probably some more if in case that happens. 3.14 is the next stop. The next one is VLL. As for VLL, okay, nice bounce we have here for VLL. This respected the support that we have here. It has looks like it has established a support in this level 3.69, and I like the candlestick pattern that we have right now. It's a green engulfing candlestick, engulfing the last day's red candlestick, stopping at this possible support level. So next area to challenge, of course, your MA20 line. We know that that could act as a resistance when we're moving below it. 3.19. Okay, there you have it. Next is Meg. Meg, be extra careful because you have your MA20 right here. That could also mean a resistance area. Okay, 3.06. So if that happens, and let's say you have a rejection that will happen at that area, that could already mean a lower high. And if it drops some more, then it could establish a lower low. which possibly revisit this price area right over here at 2.71 if it creates a lower low. I mean, if it creates a lower high. Again, if I may go back, currently your resistance level is at the 3.9 area. Uh, 3.9 up to this level, that's still part of an area. Okay, so the reason why we're plotting it there is it's really close to your MA20 line. So if that gets rejected when it drops, now that we have created a lower high, it will most likely create a lower low, and that is building a downward trend. 2.69 could be the next possible support. JFC had a good story today. Okay, second green for JFC, and we're starting to trigger our MA20 line here. I think this is more than half of the candlestick's body as of today. I feel that it will continue to move higher, and your next stop would be around the 150 level. It might challenge that. That's your nearest resistance at the moment. Okay, so if we hopefully we break that. If we break that, then we will now be establishing some more, a new wave, higher highs this time. Okay, so one thing good here is that look at this, when we um, bounced, this is much higher than this level, so we might create a higher high, and then we dipped um, halfway, so it could establish something like this. You can have a trend line now, and we might have there something to that effect. Okay, so that's your trend line right now. So we might, even if we break this level, then we might even reach up to this area. Now, as for now, still stabilizing here, respecting your MA20 line, slightly moving the price higher though. So let's just observe how the market is going to react once the price reaches this area. I think there's a few more wiggle room to move higher here. So 2.33 is our nearest resistance. So just be extra careful. If you are already profitable, and if let's say it reaches this level and you see a red candlestick coming out, lock in some profit. It's better to be safe and protect your capital, even if gains are not that uh, huge. MBT. MBT is starting to show us, some movements to the upside. This is a green candlestick, and we're very near our support. So that's a good sign. 36.37 is our nearest support. I always put like a threshold here because sometimes even if we see price moving higher, uh, the next day a candle may be bullish, but at one point within the day, people are taking profit, right? For instance, this one. Okay, so we started at that level. There was a period or a time frame when the sentiment is moving up, but there was also a segment of the day within the day that people took profit and revisited this price level. So that's also the reason why I'm plotting it at the 36.37, because we can never tell. People might take profit and revisit anywhere between 36.37 and 37.5. If you want to get in right away, anywhere in between is fine. You're still at a healthy, cheap level there. Yeah, we're already 47 level in our RSI. AGI. What about AGI? AGI currently you have a support built at this level 650. 650 level is our support. Now you see this MA20 line. Currently that is acting as your resistance. Now we have to break that. Once we break that, then we have an opportunity to create a brand new wave there. Okay, so I'm plotting it there right now because that's an area to challenge and break. Next is Merrimart. Merrimart is still consolidating. Yeah. Let's use this level as our support because it might revisit this price area again. 3.22. Okay? 3.22. Wow, nice earnings here. Q1 earnings 58 million. Next is MHC. Oh, MHC, not much volume. With only 13 trades, I suggest try to look for other stocks where there's a lot of activities happening so that when you put a buy or sell order, it can be executed right away. In here, it's going to be difficult because even if the price you want is already at that level, but because there are only a few people trading this, it might take a long time before it can be executed. So we're currently sitting at the, higher than the MA20 line, so that's good. Currently, it looks like this price level is your support. Okay, you see this? There's a consolidation that happened here. This used to be a resistance, and there's also MA20 right there. So hopefully we can have some more volume in this stock so that, well, 55% decline. Their financials are not looking good. So there you have it. 1.52 right now is your short-term support. Okay. What about MPI? MPI is just revisiting your support level, but this used to be a resistance. Okay, used to be a resistance over here. So it just makes sense. I would always draw this for consistent viewers of Miss JD. I would always use this. When a price breaks out of a resistance, it moves higher, and then there's always a possibility that it revisits your previous resistance because it will create a support at that level. Okay, so I think that is what is happening at the moment for MPI. We might have some more movements going up, provided it does not break the 3.62 area. Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're always updated whenever we have new videos. Okay, and also if you feel there's value to whatever we're sharing here, I am also inviting you to hit the like. Okay, thank you guys, and bye bye for now.